Hey, I'm Jim Search, and welcome to Understanding Upstate, the podcast dedicated to exploring what makes upstate New York such a unique place. Each week, my co-host Rob Adler and I dive into a new upstate topic to better understand what's up upstate. And this week, we are taking a trip to the wild world of the Catskill Game Farm.
Woo!
Now, some of you may be thinking, speedy freaks out there.
Hey, and Rattlesnake Pete's.
Yeah, speedy freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's out there might be thinking, hey, is this going to be anything like Tiger King? Well, you just have to wait and find out. All right? That is what you're here for.
Sure.
You know what you're also here for, folks? You're here to subscribe. You're here to rate. You're here to review our show and share that episode with a friend. Put a 5-star review in Apple Podcast and let us know your favorite upstate location or person, it could be me, in the review. Just saying. I mean, there's a couple upstate legends running around. Throw me in the mix. Who cares? Opening up the floor for that. Rob, how we feeling, man? You ready to get into some Catskill business?
Yeah, before we do, on the note of, sharing the good news about the podcast, someone reached out to us through Spotify because there's a little comments feature. I don't think I shared this with you.
No.
Yeah, we got a message last week from a listener named Rachel who said, "So pumped about this podcast. I grew up in Endicott and moved back home recently. Can't wait to binge this." So when you get to this episode, Rachel, thanks for reaching out.
Holy shit.
I shot Rachel a message back saying, you're in luck. We have a lot of episodes in the Triple Cities.
Holy shit, Rachel. That's fucking great, man. You never know who's listening.
There we go.
You never know who's listening. That's great, man. Oh, that's great. And Endicott is quite a town. Speaking of Endicott, I am going to be headlining the Crooked Mouth Comedy Fest September 21st in Endicott. So, Rachel, hopefully by the time you get to this episode, you'll be like, hey, come on out for the Crooked Mouth Comedy Fest. It's the very first festival. Shout out to Stephen Brown for putting that all together and the good folks over at Crooked Mouth. So it all ties together. It all comes together. But no, that's great, man. That makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
That is great fucking news.
How about that? Welcome to the Speedy Freak fold.
That's right. She gonna love it. She gonna love every minute of it. I fucking love to hear it.
There you go.
I don't know if I ever told you this. I was at a local show in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, and after my set, I had copies of my album, and I was like, y'all should buy it. You should get into it. It's great. And there was somebody after the show came up to me, and she was like, I'm from upstate New York. Like, this is up my alley. And I said, well, if you are from upstate New York.
This is up her alley? Is she trying to take my job with the up puns?
There's,
I don't know.
She's trying to go all the way up, but there's someone who is on the top of that.
Oh, well.
Yeah, no. I'm going to say it. But no, she was really like, oh my God, like, tell me more about this podcast. And I was like, it is about everything in upstate New York. And I hope she tapped in for that. So, and she did buy a copy of the album. She bought a CD, which is great.
Wow. Hell yeah.
All
right.
So,
well,
anywho.
Shall we get into a little place called the Catskill Game Farm?
You know what, Rob? I'm game.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that one I almost missed that one.
Yeah,
that would have been on me. It took me a little bit too long to catch that.
Listen, there was a beat there, and I was like, wonder if is he gonna? All right, he got there. Yeah. This is a slow burn.
Don't worry, I'm gonna cut it down in the edit, so it's like, wow, what a great joke. It's going to be perfect. No pause, no audible pause at all.
Perfect. You'll love to hear it.
All right, so the Catskill Game Farm, it was at one point the largest privately owned zoo in the United States, and also, according to some sources, it was also the oldest at one point, and it was operated as a family-owned petting zoo, though it certainly grew beyond that, from 1933 to 2006 in Catskill, New York.
Hell yeah.
The game farm closed permanently on Columbus Day, October 9th, 2006, after 73 years of operation.
Now,
we're going to get into... Oh, go ahead.
I'm here to say, my friends, Speedy Freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's, we are a podcast who celebrates Indigenous Peoples Day. We don't fuck with Columbus. Can't fuck with Columbus.
God
like
damn
that.
it. I'm just copying and pasting shit. Thank you for the editorialization.
Nah, listen, I'd never talk about your coin of phrases, but there is one that I have to say. It is that Columbus Day is not a holiday. Indigenous people is. We celebrate those folks.
Indeed. So the Catskill Game Farm. How did I learn about this place, Jim? Well, I'm going to tell you.
Let's go.
Because it's kind of a deep cut, or like it, it's now closed and it doesn't really come up. Never came up in any of my initial research. However, I was just down in Florida with my wife's family, and her dad, my father-in-law, put on some home movies. You just digitized some Super 8 films from back in the 60s. And lo and behold, some of it was shot in upstate New York.
What?
And a lot of this Super 8. Yeah. I mean, one beautiful sweeping views of the Catskill Mountains from like 63, 64. And one big chunk of it took place at this place called the Catskill Game Farm. I was like, what the hell is this? They're like, I'd never heard of it, right? And the excuse me, it like had a bunch of, this is all like family footage from like a Super 8 camera, but a bunch of like a bunch of clips of the animals. And this place looks huge,
right?
Just from what I could tell in the clips, and the pens were jam-packed with animals. I dropped a picture into our shared document here. Jim, can you just describe what you see in this picture?
Well, first off, as a fashionista that I might be, I see a real strong color block shirt right in the center of that picture. Good on you, whomever that is. And some real, we've got some real strong fashion statements out here and some comb overs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Just off the rip, that's what I'm seeing. But as you pan down into this picture, there is a good, just scanning this picture here is like 20 bears, I would say.
20 cubs, right?
Are those cubs?
At least 20. And what are they doing? What are the cubs doing?
They are, as if I were to guess, I am certainly no animal expert, but it looks like they are being fed by the folks. There's people right at the ledge, and it looks like they're. I would guess they're giving these bears food. So
that looks like that's what's happening to me as well. But also, what struck me is how low this wall is without a railing.
Yeah,
like there's the height of the cubs. If you double that, which is to say not that high, that's about the height of the wall. Right?
Yeah,
so pretty shallow wall. And in the video clips I saw from these home movies, people were sitting on the ledge, dangling their legs into the bear pit. The 60s were a wild fucking time, man.
Listen, I am not. I'm going to be honest. I won't say I'm the first victim blamer out there.
Sure.
However, and I put "however" in all caps. If you sit on the ledge of a bear pit with your legs dangling off, and one just so happens to invite you in, well, that's on you. That is squarely on your legs, not on your shoulders. That's going to be on your legs to do that. So, you are also, and I would say if you do that, you're also at the find out phase of the visit, because you're definitely fucking around. You were absolutely fucking around.
Jesus Christ.
And you wanted to find out. You want to see how hungry these bears are. So, hey, go with God on that.
I'll tell you what, I would not want to fuck around with bears of any size, cubs or otherwise.
Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. The only bear I would fuck with is the show, which I don't know. I try and get into the show, but that's a separate podcast altogether.
We'll do the bear recap podcast that spun out of our Catskill Game Farm episode. It's cool. It's cool. All right, Jim. So this is a kind of a new feature for our podcast. I'm going to introduce here, barring any technical difficulties. I'm going to play for you a theme song, which we'll drop in. We'll put it into the episode. This will be a little transition here for us.
Okay.
A theme song for the Catskills Zoo from like the mid 90s, because it's catchy as hell. All right, so here we go. This is the Catskill Game Farm jingle that ran on local TV in upstate New York. Here we go.
You'll find adventure at Catskill Game Farm. Adventure is in our nature. Talk to the animals and you'll see, just whisper in their ear. You'll be surprised just what they know. Ask any llama or deer. Buffaloes are in the know. They shout it loud and clear. You'll find adventure at Catskill Game Farm. Adventure is in our nature.
There we go. There you have it.
All right. So here's the first thought that came to mind when I heard this.
Yeah.
This is like a jingle that like Jordan Peele would make for a horror movie involving a zoo.
Yeah.
That was my initial thought of like, oh, okay, this has a penchant for terror.
Sure.
That is. I also add to that, like, there's a certain like upstate New York kind of vibe that comes with ads in that time.
Sure.
And I absolutely went back to like short line bus ads that would run in like Binghamton, New York and shit like that. That's obviously very deep cut for all our 607ers in there. But yes, there's a certain like there's a certain feel and aesthetic to what's
and
been...
it like that was like mid 90s, right? Like if I had heard that song on my own and someone's like, "What year do you think this is from?" It would have been like 82 at the latest, right?
Right. Like very 50s sounding.
Yeah, sure.
I would even give it that. But also, like, that's the other thing too, right? Is like when you like think about and like listen to like even ads today in like upstate New York. I mean, like I was just up there recently and watching like local TV, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is like a very Midwestern, like hokey kind of vibe that's coming across with these commercials. They're not hip, like, and that's that is, and you know, as an upstater, I have the social cachet to say it, but it's like, yeah, it's not
sure.
The commercials aren't hip. They're not like fun and like, you know, Madison Ave advertise vibed out. No. It's like, come on down to Jeff's Auto. Jeff's Auto, when you're here, you're the best. Like that sort of shit.
And I and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, listen, you're not. I'm right there with you. Like, it certainly is. It has its charm, and it has its kind of like connection, at least for me, because again, I grew up listening to that shit. So
yeah. Well, let's get into the history of the Catskill Game Farm, because we gotta get to a lot today.
Yeah, we got a lot going on here today.
For sure. So the Catskill Game Farm, again, was founded in 1933, but it started as a hobby of German immigrant and New York banker Roland Lindemann. And by the 1940s, the Catskill region of New York, as we had talked about in a previous episode, was a booming destination. Tons of hotels, resorts that were flowing in, not just from New York City, but the whole tri-state area, right?
Right.
And pretty much the zoo was an immediate success from when it opened. And it initially was a single enclosure, just of a private collection of a small variety of deer, and it went up to 1,000-acre farm that had bison, buffalo, yaks, llamas, alpacas, camels, antelopes, mountain lions, goats, and several exotic varieties of deer.
I didn't know there was exotic varieties of deer. I thought they were just
dude. There was a list. There was a list I didn't put on this document, which is shocking because it's 12 pages. But just of like at least 20 to 30 deer alone. What they had here. Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah, they had it.
They got you.
They had it. So most of those 1,000 acres was used to breed animals, and they would supply them to other zoos worldwide. Only about 136 acres were available for public viewing. And it was only typically, I believe, open in the summer and autumn. And again, remember, this zoo started in 33. That picture we described and like the clips I saw were from like the 60s, and some of the pictures I saw were from the 70s as well. Like zoos, standards and practices, zoos were a lot different from what they are today. And we're going to get into some of that.
Yeah.
But let's see. One of the main attractions at the farm was a 50-acre feeding area and animal nursery where families could interact freely with a variety of deer, goats, and llamas and feed them crackers or milk from bottles. Again, I think you're just like in a pen with these animals where, modern petting zoo, they come up to the fence.
Right.
And you can give them some bits of dried food. I think you're just wandering around with goats and llamas and stuff.
Which something feels not entirely safe about that. I feel like
right?
you might want a barrier of protection between you and said animal in case things decide to go left or you decide to get like out of pocket with one, because that shit happens.
Here's a quote from the zoo advertising of the time. Over 100 tame animals bottle raised for you to pet and feed. You walk right in with them. So yeah, you're just in there. And it's a 50-acre zone, like with little kids, right? Like I mean, these are people that would drive around without seat belts, right? So,
right.
Like,
I mean, like,
I get it.
listen, this is like also people who are like, smoking like 5 packs a day because it's just like cigarettes are a good stress relief.
Sure,
and like, women are like giving birth to kids hungover and shit. Like, so, the thoughts of safety were very different in this time.
Indeed. So aside from the obvious tourism focus of the Catskill Game Farm, zoo efforts were, I'll add initially, focus on preservation of endangered species, such as the American bison, whose population had dwindled to only 2 herds. That's low. I knew they were low, but I didn't know they got that low. Roland Lindemann traveled worldwide to acquire new rare species. He once said in an interview that the Catskill Game Farm had over 3,000 rare animals and birds and believed it to be the fastest growing wildlife collection in America. In 1958, the game farm was the first private zoo to be officially recognized with that distinction as the fastest growing by the Department of Agriculture. So like it was huge. It was
Right.
fucking huge. And like had some notoriety, not just in the Catskills region, but I think nationally. So it grew, and basically, again, we talked about this in the Catskill episode. We're focusing on like the resorts and their growth there. Airplane travel became more affordable and more prominent, and basically by the 70s, attendance started to decline just because there weren't as many people coming to the region.
Right. And you had broader places for travel, right? Like people are taking, like families are flying on vacation places, right? So like, this is not going to be the big draw as it once was.
Exactly. So that kind of started the decline of the zoo attendance. So in 1989, the original owner and founder, Lindemann, sold it to his daughter, Kathy Schultz. And this is when things kind of really took a downturn for the zoo. Just 2 years after the sale, the San Diego Zoo alleged in a newspaper article, which I found, don't worry, that the zoo was selling its animals to be used in canned hunts. Which is basically, it's a trophy hunt where animals are kept in an expansive enclosure, making it easier for a hunter to actually kill the animal. Again, it's done with anything from like deer that are farm raised for that purpose up to exotic animals.
There's a film called Surviving the Game with Ice-T, and they do a canned hunt with Ice-T. They hunt him because he's this like homeless dude.
The most dangerous game kind of thing.
Yeah. And like, yeah, it's like all these like rich like businessmen who are just like fucking awful people. And, just reminded me of that because that's what it was. It was a canned hunt. Like they like let him run out and they're like, we're going to get you. But fuck these people.
So after we cover the bear on our spinoff podcast, we're going to cover that.
Surviving the game. Oh shit. Anytime to talk about Ice-T, I want it. Let's do it.
Oh my God. I'm on board. So over the years, canned hunts have drawn criticism from animal rights groups because animals are sometimes drugged and have like, there's no chance for them to escape, right? Like it's not ethical.
Right.
At all. Let alone, big game hunting in general. So the San Diego Zoo suspended trade with the game farm pending an investigation of the allegations. Later on, the San Francisco Zoo and the Toronto Zoo ceased business dealings with them as well after it was discovered that the zoo was selling animals to, you guessed it, a canned hunt operation in Texas. And this is the article that I found. This is from the LA Times, September 19th, 1992. San Diego Zoo halts sales to breeders tied to hunting, animal rights. Embarrassed zoo officials say the dealers linked to hunting were not known. And I'll just read a little bit of it. Let's see. Jeff Jewett, a spokesman for the San Diego Zoo, said the zoo did not realize until Tuesday that the two breeders had ties to private hunting ranches. Only a few animals from the zoo were turned over to the questionable breeders, and apparently none were hunted. So basically, the San Diego Zoo sent some of their animals. They had a surplus of animals, and they were sending them out to other zoos.
Right.
And let's see. So only a few animals were from the zoo were turned over to these questionable breeders, and apparently none were hunted, although their offspring may have been.
No good.
Still Jewett acknowledged by dealing with the breeders. However, unwittingly, the zoo had broken with its professional code of ethics and its own written policies. Let's see. Lisa Landers, a former elephant keeper at the San Diego Zoo, released documents that showed the San Diego Zoo animals were transported to a Texas hunting ranch and to a New York game farm that does business with hunting ranches, which again we kind of talked about earlier. Jewett said, "We should have known. We don't condone hunting ranches, and we don't deal with people who do. I'm shocked, I'm disappointed, and I'm glad it was pointed out to us." I bet it. Yeah, I bet you'd be happy about it too. Indeed. Just to paraphrase, it came to light that the Catskill Game Farm had basically disposed of some white-tailed deer by transporting them to someone who basically ran this place that was a canned hunt place for deer. Again, those aren't exotic animals, but if they're transporting white-tailed deer for those purposes, there's what's stopping them from doing that with other animals. Right. And again, it's for a fucked up canned hunt thing anyway. And these animals, I think, were just in their care, or in their care. These were animals that they had, but that weren't zoo-born, allegedly. Which is, the San Diego Zoo being like, whoa, but... Yeah. Well, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad, basically is kind of how it comes off. But don't worry, Jim, it gets worse. Okay, good. So according to a 1986 health certificate that Landers distributed, it showed that an eastern gray kangaroo from the San Diego Wild Animal Park was transported to the Catskill Game Farm. According to sales records, the kangaroo was later given to a man in Clifton Park, New York, who wanted to keep it as a pet. Yo, man. News accounts, yeah. It gets worse. News accounts in the Clifton Park Times record, which I could not find, I was very disappointed, said that the man was later cited for not having the correct permits. As he fought a battle in court to keep the kangaroo, which he called Fred, it was attacked by two dogs and killed, the news account said. Jewett called the kangaroo's death tragic and said the Catskill Game Farm had made a mistake in placing the animal. I regret that happened. It's 4 years ago. It's history. Fuck you, dude. They got a fucking San Diego Zoo needed to get a goddamn PR firm before they talked to the LA Times. I regret that it happened. It's 4 years ago. It's history. You gave away a kangaroo that got murdered by dogs. What are you doing? Anyway. This is not a good look. No. So again, the Catskill Game Farm, and it's called a game farm in the name. Like, did y'all read the paperwork for who you were talking to? It's in the name. Farm is in the name. Anyway, again, that early 90s really started to see a decline. It's when they made that catchy tune to try and get everyone in. However, in 2006, the game farm announced that it would be closing on October 9th that year and ending over 70 years of, being a zoo. Yeah. And according to one user on zoochat.com, which is a very real website I found. There's something for everybody, man. There's really something for everybody out there. There is. According to them, the Catskill Game Farm was at its peak in the 1960s. The game farm had an average season of up to 500,000 visitors. By the time it closed for business, it was down to about 100,000 visitors a season. It would have taken about 150 to 200,000 visitors annually to make the operation viable. The farm needed about a $5 million facelift, and it got a little run down in the final years. Operating at a pretty significant deficit. At the close of the zoo in 2006, they held an auction to sell off equipment and the animals. Jim, tell us about this auction. So look, the auction was held in October 2006 and it was held over 2 days. And it attracted over 1,000 potential bidders from U.S., Canada, and Mexico. And just
reeks of a horrible idea. Like,
sure, right.
They have already been in hot water for just like selling animals to whomever, and this smells like a horrible fucking idea.
Smells worse than the chimpanzee enclosure, if I may say.
Yeah, and that smells like shit. Now, here's the thing: animal advocates and Marc Ecko are going to get involved in this. So,
and this comes from a place called the wildcatsanctuary.org, and
our good friends over at wildcatsanctuary.org.
Yeah.
Shout out to Constance Young.
Yeah, she wrote like a really lovely detailed article, and I just pulled some things from it to highlight how fucked up this auction was.
Yeah, it's folks. I hope you're sitting, and if you have a pet, just squeeze them tight as we read this. So, for a large coalition of animal advocates, both local and far-flung, the closing of the game farm sounded alarm bells, as it should have. While they hoped that the animals would be placed in certified sanctuaries and zoos or other animal-friendly and humane shelters and farms, they were worried that many might be sold to shady or unlicensed dealers, much like I was worried, who would turn a profit by reselling the animals to poorly kept roadside zoos or theme parks where animals are bred and their offsprings are sold to. Canned hunts, baby. God, these guys can't get away from fuckery. Well, thank goodness for our good friends, the animal advocates and Marc Ecko. In such operations, high rollers in search of wall trophies pay thousands of dollars to enter an enclosed area where at close range they can shoot largely tame exotic animals, some of them endangered species. You have to be a special kind of piece of shit to do that. Just want to throw that out there, Speedy Freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's.
That's like trying to shoot a giraffe in a bucket. Like, what do you...
Yeah.
Or in a barrel? Damn it, I fucked it up. I fucked the phrase up. It's not shooting fish in a bucket. It's shooting fish in a barrel. But it might as well be shooting a giraffe in a bucket as far as I'm concerned, Jim.
Well, you know what, Rob, I'm with you. I got your back. You know that. Don't you worry about that. Now, activists had a reason to be fearful, according to representatives from the Humane Society of the United States, who monitored the auction. Catskill Game Farm had been cited for violations in the past, as Rob was just talking about, among them selling animals to canned hunt operations. So, again, can't stay away from it. When they first heard about the closing, a few animal advocates contacted Kathy Schultz and tried to convince her to donate the animals to friendly sanctuaries. When that approach failed, they picketed the game farm. Good. The resulting press attention brought further offers of help, which allowed them to pool their information and resources and form the Coalition for Catskill Game Farm Animals.
You know what I have to say to that, Jim?
What's that?
Booyah!
I love it. The Coalition collaborated with other animal-friendly groups. It's just like the Avengers. Collaborated with other animal-friendly groups and individuals to buy as many animals as possible at the auction. Good for you. They particularly targeted animals most at risk. Among these, a type of antelope called the niljay. I'm going to say it's niljay.
It's kind of spelled like algae.
Right.
But with like an N and an I at the beginning.
Well, we can go with niljay. Why not? A form of Barbary sheep from Africa called aoudad, the warthog, and the two white rhinos. Man, this is like scumbag heaven, right? Because they're just like, yeah. I want to kill these animals. You can smell the evil. The niljay were once widely hunted in Asia, are depicted in 16th century Persian art and today are prize targets at U.S. shooting preserves. Which animal welfare groups were involved? Well, folks, let me tell you. The cooperative building effort teamed up coalition members with not-for-profit groups and licensed sanctuaries such as Wildlife Watchout of New Paltz, shout out to New Paltz, and the Catskill Animal Sanctuary in Saugerties. Shout out to these organizations for getting on board and in line to save these little guys, because nothing deserves to be strategically slaughtered. Fuck that.
Yeah. And again, this at one point was the country's largest private zoo, right? They have fucking rhinos. This is a huge. They still had a massive collection of animals, even at the point where they had started to decline. We're talking a lot of animals.
And this. So there was no clandestine under the radar movement here, right? You're way too big to do that. And it seems as I was talking to a friend about this, it's just listen, shady business often isn't the smartest business. It's
sure,
there's a good chance you're going to get caught. So these groups, as mentioned, spontaneously cooperated with other animal-friendly advocates at the auction site, including the International Rhino Foundation.
Oh, they just teamed up day of. They're just oh shit, International Rhino Foundation, come on over, guys.
we got a job to do here because these motherfuckers are not playing fair.
That's awesome.
By far, the most dramatic of the coalition members' wins was the most expensive acquisition of the auction. $9,000 plus a buyer's premium for the warthog named Louise, by winner Carol Eswald of Tusk and Bristol Private Sanctuary for Pigs. $9,000. That's a lot of money. But you know what?
Yeah.
We had a job to do. For another $700, Iswald also purchased an aged arthritic Eurasian wild boar whom she named Rusty. I'm not made of stone out here, guys. Come on now. Because warthogs and boars have long tusks, this makes them valued trophy animals. Fortunately, Louise the warthog and Rudy the wild boar escaped this fate. Good. In fact, after Tusk and Bristle won the warthog, I overheard two men whom I later learned to be well-known hunters say, "That's an expensive trophy." Fuck off. Fuck you guys. Nowadays, Louise the warthog is living part-time in a barn. Ooh, she's fancy. Louise is living part-time in a barn at Tusk and Bristle with Rusty, the wild boar, where Iswald says they sleep butt to butt. Oh. Louise was eager to explore every nook and cranny of Iswald's home and farm and follows Iswald around outside when it is warm. I love to hear this. She is also allowed in the pig areas in Oswald's home, which Oswald says leads her to believe that Louise was originally raised inside a human house. Oh, Rusty roams during warm days with special needs herds. This is incredible, man. This
hell yeah, Rusty.
Listen, you know what? This world is full of shit, and there's awful people, and it's a cesspool of violence and corruption and depravity. But then you hear stories like this, where these two animals were spared a fate that would have been pretty horrible, and they get to just live their best lives. I'm so not mad at this, and I'm really happy about this. The most heralded negotiations on auction day involved Boom Boom, one of two white rhinos. Its partner, a white rhino named Jack, went for $8,500 to a veterinarian representing Marc Ecko. That's right. That brand. Founder of the world-famous rhino-branded apparel line, Ecko Unlimited. Mr. Ecko is a staunch supporter of the Rhino Relief and works closely with the International Rhino Fund. Who knew?
Hell yeah, Marc Ecko.
Oh yeah, this is great, man. We just keep seeing human beings being better and better. After Jack's penmate Boom Boom went to a purported game hunter from Texas for $5,500, Ecko, who would have none of this, Ecko's representatives worked with the coalition members behind the scenes to purchase Boom Boom from the hunter for double his winning bid. Damn, $1,100. But
also
$11,000.
If you, I mean, this is also in 2006 money, but inflation isn't that bad. But if you asked me, what do you think a rhino would go for at auction? I would say $1 million.
Yeah, I
one went for 8,500. That seems shockingly low for a white rhino. Not even just a plain old rhino, a white rhino. What the? That's so low.
Yeah, it's like weirdly attainable. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. So Mark Johnson of Foster Parrots also purchased several animals, including 2 vervet monkeys, which required a special license, a Goffin cockatoo, a yellow-backed lorikeet, that's a form of parrot, and a Patagonian cavy, we'll say it's cavy, and 2 African porcupines that he won for $1,100 in a bidding war against a taxidermist.
Jesus!
This is like, look, I've auctioned on shit on eBay, right?
Sure,
and then like,
sure.
All right, it got away from me. Life goes on. But this is a whole different game, baby. There's
some stakes to this. Jesus. If you're bidding on a shirt on eBay, you're presumably not bidding against the most evil people on earth, like a taxidermist who's just going to kill the fucking parrot. Like, what the fuck, dude?
And not only just kill it, but just then like stuff it and like put it in its office and be like, murdered this and now it's a trophy, which I'm pretty sure the souls of those animals haunt those people. I have to believe that.
I hope so.
I want that to be the case. The coalition also had winning bids on 5 of the Aoudads and 3 of the Niljays. Others were not so lucky. That's too bad. With free transport provided by Farm Sanctuary in Watkins Glen, New York, very close to Binghamton, gave a great race. There's a great racetrack up there, Watkins Glen. Anywho.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yep. Other successful bids went for several pygmy donkeys, pot-bellied pigs, iguanas, 28 rabbits, more than 17 llamas, 24 ducks, guinea pigs, pigeons, chickens, and 2 tortoises. Man, that's a lot of animals moving through these transactions here.
It's fucking wild.
Yes, this is a fucking wild story, man. Close to home, Catskill Animal Sanctuary in Saugerties won 3 calves, now named Rudy, Amos, and Jesse, a young miniature donkey named Clarence, a Shetland pony named Trudy, and a Holstein cow named Patricia. This almost doesn't even sound real at this point. This totally sounds made up, and it's like...
I love that they put all the names... names in this.
Gotta put respect on these animals, man. We gotta,
for sure.
They got names. Unfortunately, among the high-risk animals, the bison, wisnet, and many types of deer, including the fallow deer, a red stag, 3 yaks, several niljays, black buck elk, Dall sheep, that's a type of bighorn sheep, and others were lost to traders with connections to canned hunts. Man, oh man. Now, listen, so all of this shit has gone down, right? At the Catskill Game Farm, which is like, again, this is like eBay for living animals, and like you got to win. Like you just got to win. Okay.
Yep.
Now the Catskill Game Farm is home to a celebrity we're going to get into, okay? And her name is April the Giraffe. Okay, this is kind of like the viral sensation, right? This is like before the Hawktua girl and all that shit, right?
Sure.
You got April the giraffe. In 2002, April was born at the Catskill Game Farm, and upon closing of the Catskill Game Farm in October of 2006, April was sold to the Adirondack Animal Land in Vail Mills, New York, and then to Animal Adventure Park in Harpersville, New York, right near Binghamton. I'm always going to let you know what's near Binghamton, guys. That's important to me.
Sure.
In 2015, okay? Now, she had a life. April was living a life. And what I'm about to tell you guys, I had to read 3 times because I was like, wait, what's going on here? So, Animal Adventure Park was owned by Jordan Patch, okay? Acquired the 14-year-old April shortly after acquiring Oliver, a 3-year-old male giraffe, in 2015. Oliver and April soon mated. Hang on. Oliver's 3 years old. That's a huge age difference. And I don't know how that shit works in the animal world, but wait a minute. I am applying like fucking regular human ass logic here of just like this doesn't make any sense. All right.
No.
But then I guess as I took a step back, it was like, well, I'm assuming like the life expectancy of these animals are like 20 years, I guess. So like, do you do the math of like cat logic where it's just like there's 7 years for each year? I don't know. Anywho, Oliver.
There can't be that many, too many giraffe suitors out there in the Adirondacks, though. So I think, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose,
Exactly.
April just had to take what she could get.
And it was a 3-year-old named Oliver. And they mate, which resulted in a pregnancy that normally lasts 15 months. It was Oliver's first siring and April's 4th pregnancy. I'm not here to slut shame. April, you live your life, girl. Whatever you want to do. She had previously mothered 3 other giraffes, so she knows what to do. 2 males and a female named Autumn with a male giraffe named Stretch. Very clever. After becoming pregnant, Animal Adventure Park, she became a viral sensation. In February 2017, was being monitored in a live stream. This is crazy, all right? An estimated 1.2 million viewers watched the live feed of April giving birth on YouTube, which is crazy. Who are they sponsored by? Toys R Us and Babies R Us, as they play as a play on the chain's mascot, Jeffrey the Giraffe. Absolutely great. By the time the camera shut off, 232 million views have flown through there. That is really fucking impressive. There was a GoFundMe set up for $50,000, and it received more than $135,000 by the time the calf was born. And this money went to offset the care that was required in upgrading the giraffe exhibit at the park. So, good on them. Now, with the prolonged wait of April to enter labor, there were some haters out there who didn't have anything else better to do and questioned the pregnancy as an April Fool's Day joke. And there were conspiracy theories that had been put forward, which I think is fucking hilarious. Because when you think of conspiracy theories, you think of JFK, you think of Roswell, you think of all these big picture things, right, that the government might want to get their hands in. But these folks out here are like, nah, man, you know what? I don't believe that bitch April, man. She ain't pregnant. Like, the fuck? What are we talking about here, guys? What are we talking about?
So she was pregnant for like 2 years, right?
Well, yeah. I was going to say, which giraffes are fucking enormous. Like it's gonna take some time to cook, right? Like what are we talking about here? Now, prior to the birth, April's vet, Dr. Tim Slater, stated that despite a great sense of anticipation, the birth of her calf was not considered overdue. And he is a vet, so we're gonna listen to him. April 8th, 2017, April zookeeper Alyssa Swiley and caretaker Corey Dwyer stated that April was big and full of milk and closer to giving birth. Okay? But at this time, the calf was just not coming out. There's a live stream of April's pregnancy that had been posted on a video site, video sharing site, YouTube. The controversy resulted when YouTube briefly removed it in late February 2017 because of complaints from animal rights activists who were saying it violated the standards of YouTube regarding nudity and sexual activity, which, unfortunately, we live in a world where, yes, there are fucking weirdos who are like, this is hot.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
They're not wrong for it. Right, for like taking the stance of like, oh man,
wait, Jim, who's
creepy.
not wrong? Who's not wrong for
the animal rights activists aren't wrong. Okay. Follow along, Rob.
No. Just that was buttressed up against. All right, I just had to make sure.
Yeah. And again, using the nuance of what I was saying before of how there are fucking scumbags out there who, in fact, think this shit is hot. I'm on the right side of history. The animal rights activists probably were in their right of being like, there's some creeps. Well, following thousands of complaints from YouTube users, the stream was restored to the website within an hour. So I guess the creeps eventually got to have their way, right? Now, April was placed on birth control. Right? I mean, was it her choice? I feel like she maybe could have had some say in that. Her body, her choice. June 2019, entered senior care after her handlers observed her and felt that, further calf bearing would be hazardous to her health. Okay. During her retirement, she housed with two of her youngest children. I'm going to say this is Tajiri and Azizi. Subsequently, the Animal Adventure Park acquired another female giraffe, Jahari, to continue breeding of the species with Oliver. This is what, it's wild that they're pairing animals to fuck. This shit, I think it's such a crazy place. Now, very recently, last 3 years ago, April 2nd, 2021, 16 days before her 21st birthday, Animal Adventure Park announced that April had been euthanized at the age of 20 because of worsening arthritis. Rest in peace to April the giraffe. She was cremated and her ashes were returned to the park. So, that is the life and legacy. Right, we'll call it the legacy of April the giraffe. Now,
there you go.
From the ashes of from the ashes of the Catskill Game Farm comes the redevelopment, the proverbial second act, if you will. Ben and Kathy Ballone purchased the former Catskill Game Farm property in 2012, right? They established the old game farm. They had been working to reopen the site as a family-oriented establishment, once again with the addition of a bed and breakfast, a campground, and an RV resort with animals. You know what? Hey... If you want that, then I'm not going to yuck your yum. You like it, I love it, all right? But personally, me, I don't know how you feel about this, Rob, but I'm not ready to bed down and stay overnight with animals on a farm. We're not doing that. There's enough horror movies out there where like the animals take back what was rightfully theirs, right?
Yeah, famously, George Orwell wrote about it.
Yes, he spoke about this. But if it's one thing I know about humans, Man, we sure love to fuck around and find out collectively as a species.
Yeah,
So the new owners have developed the former giraffe barn into a hotel. Okay. It was the home of several generations and families of giraffes, including April, who was born there in 2002. So celebs walk. It's like Graceland for animals, right?
yeah.
So the inn opened on Tuesday, October 1st, 2019, following an extensive renovation of the existing building. The inn features 5 guest rooms and 4 campsites. An exhibit of memorabilia highlighting the history of the former Catskill Game Farm is displayed at the inn. I wonder if they talk about the absolute fucking violence and all the controversy that we unearthed here today. Are they telling the full story about the Catskill Game Farm? That's what I wonder.
Jim,
You know?
I can tell you they are not. I looked at their website a lot. There's no mention of the ghosts of rhinos and hippos past.
No, no.
It's got to be such a haunted place to stay. And again, like back in the day, like still kind of fucked up the way they were doing things, but it was by the very thin book of zoo regulations, and then it got worse from there, right?
Sure, right.
And yeah, in the end, like not taking care of their animals, which is their one job.
Yeah, you got one job here, folks.
Yeah.
Well, just so happen we have from their website. And again, this is, as I'm looking at it, you're correct. There is no mention of the dead souls that haunt this space.
Sure.
Possibly the most unique home in all of upstate New York for any family to want to stay. Okay.
I think that's a fair claim. It's a fair claim.
That may want to stay. Unique, I can go with.
Sure.
This is different. That any family would want to stay. Any family, right? So if we poll 10 families, they're all going to be like, "Hell yeah, I want to stay. I want to stay in a slaughterhouse." Yes,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was reading as any family could possibly want, but you're right. They're saying anyone will. This is top of everybody's list.
Yep. It's like we could go to the Bahamas. We could go to the Alps. We could go to Bora Bora. We could see Egypt. Or we could go to the renovated Catskill Game Farm. And every child, I can't imagine a child not wanting that. So, this is as per the website, right? This is, these are the views expressed by the website here we speak of. Perfect for family getaways and reunions. Okay. Ski weekends, small corporate retreats, and all types of getaways. What was once an old giraffe barn now features 6 bedrooms, which sleeps more than 16 people, all with en-suite bathrooms, a full chef's kitchen, indoor jacuzzi, sauna room, seasonal outdoor hot tub, and fire pit. Decorated with remnants of the Catskill Game Farm. God, if this is not a Stephen King movie, just waiting to come to life. Fuck this. Stay at the newly renovated Old Giraffe Barn. Explore the grounds and witness nature take back an American landmark.
I feel like it's not a Stephen King book, but it's an R.L. Stein book a la Goosebumps. I believe I had a Choose Your Own Adventure Haunted Zoo Goosebumps book.
Oh, okay.
And great premise. Haunted, abandoned zoo. It was a good book.
That also has notes of like Jurassic Park where everyone's like, is this a good idea? Like, should we bring back animals that should we go back in time and bring back a group of animals that were extinct And for some, nature said, all right, y'all had your run. We're not doing this. But then we're like, nah, fuck that, nature. We want this. This feels very much thumbing the nose at a horrible atrocity and being like, yeah, come live here. Come spend some time here.
We need to just write trademark over this entire episode and all the descriptions, because we're going to start working on our new horror script.
Sure.
For Haunted Zoo, the movie.
Yep. Get the fuck out. The movie. Now, here are the amenities, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got 3.5 miles of paved walkway. Okay. Sweeping scenic views. Right. Okay. Local food delivery. That
seems like that's not really an amenity. That's something that Seamless and Grubhub provide.
Right. Yeah. And also, like, when you think of it, yeah, amenities are like things that you don't need per se,
Sure.
whereas food feels like it's something you're going to need while you're there. Right. Memory foam mattress. Their words, not mine. I feel like, again, that's a baseline. That's a real standard thing that we're going to offer here.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, folks, here's the amenity you've been waiting for. You've walked the path, you walked the paved walkway, you saw the sweeping views, you ordered the crab rangoon from Seamless, you're feeling great, you're relaxed, and then you're like, you know what, I want more. Well, this is what you're going to get. Abandoned zoo buildings and pens.
Yeah, man, that's the main draw. You at some point, I think you said, like, newly renovated facilities. They renovated. I'll give them this. They renovated the giraffe barn. They call it a mansion. It still looks like a giraffe barn.
Right.
And you can just walk around the abandoned zoo. Like, it's just go have at it. Just go walk around the abandoned zoo. Again, it was originally 1,000 acres. There's 3.5 miles of paved walkway because that's the old zoo path.
Right.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I feel like, again, there's some PR business here that, like, we should have gotten someone to take another look at this before they went to press. But hey, you know what?
Well, in fact, before this opened, like, if you go to YouTube, there's tons of, like, abandoned place YouTubers who, like, snuck in, took video. I mean, it was abandoned for at least for 6 years. When did they purchase this? 2012, or was it? Yeah, they purchased it in 2012, so it was totally abandoned for 6 years, and already at that point, it had started to decline. So you can watch, like, hour-long videos of people just walking through the property. There was a show on the Discovery Channel that did an episode covering this place, and it was something. It's, like, not available in the United States, unfortunately, to watch anymore. But it was, like, abandoned places and they're, like, hidden secrets or something. And, like, the 3-minute clip is, like, them going through it, and it was like, why was this place left like this? Something bad must have happened here. And they were right.
They were right. They were absolutely right. Yeah. You can't, like, and abandoned is such a loaded word. Like,
yeah.
Like, there's a reason why something is left behind, hence the name abandoned. There isn't, like, you're not finding love in an abandoned warehouse. You're not finding a good time in anything abandoned. I feel like there's a better choice of words there.
I've been in some abandoned mines in my time, and pretty fun.
Now, I mean, I guess, okay, so it's relative to what fun is.
It's
right?
relative to your own particular interests.
Sure. And then I feel like, like, okay, what are we attaching to the word abandoned, right? I feel like that's important, right?
Fair
because
enough. Fair enough.
looking at these 4 words put together, abandoned zoo building and pens, leads me to believe there was some life that once lived here. And
yeah,
there's
it's weird. You're 100% correct, and that they list it as abandoned zoo buildings. You own them. They're not abandoned. They're just they've fallen into disrepair.
yeah.
They're on your property now.
We're doing the most here, Catskill Game Farm. And folks, that is what we have for the legacy, if you will, the tarnished legacy in some lights of the Catskill Game Farm. There it is, folks.
There we go.
Now, Rob, before we get out of here, I'm gonna flip it around here. Is there anything? God. Yeah, like this is game time. Like let's do, why not, right? Is there anything that you can recommend for our listeners out there to get into that maybe they might be interested in?
There is. I think I can recommend. I can't talk, but I can recommend something. I think I can recommend something. Let's just say you were just contacted by Marc Ecko to go rescue a couple rhinoceroses. And while you're getting together with all of your other rhino enthusiasts, you're going to need to put something on while you guys plot how to outbid the most evil people in the world. And you're going to put on my album. It's 100% rhino approved, giraffe approved too. It's called New York Sticky, and it's available at brooklynfrequency.bandcamp.com. Go check it out. Also, go check out our documentary. It's about an album, the making of an album that I believe, Jim, you're going to tell us about right now.
I will tell you about that album. It's a perfect album to give you some levity, to give you some kind of joy, maybe after being through a very intense life or death struggle for some animals. Allow me to bring you into a world that is in upstate New York, in fact, and that album is called Upstate Understandings. It's an incredible album, produced by the good guy Rob Adler here. And it's a great listen. Go to jimsearch.bandcamp.com. You can pick up a copy there. You can also go on all digital streaming platforms to take a listen to that too if you want to go that route. But you should definitely go get it. Today, as we record this, marks the 2-year anniversary of when that album was taped. So how about that, party people?
Congratulations to you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. It's a very interesting moment of reflection of that 2 years ago. Actually, right now, I would be...
oh, shit.
2 years ago at this moment, I would say, probably halfway through saying of the first set of recording that album. So... crazy how time is flying here, folks. So yes, make sure, speaking of flying, make sure all those copies of the album fly right off the shelves and into your homes. That would be awesome. What better feeling would be to sell out of the vinyl of my album? So, oh yeah, also go to jimsearchcomedy.com. You can find all the fun stuff that I'm up to there. And that would be mighty rad of you. Now, what else do we got to do before we got to get out of here? We
don't got to do anything, but the Speedy Freaks and Rattlesnake Pete's. I'm gonna get tired. Of saying that. I think.
No, you're not, Rob. I know you. I feel like I know you better.
I'm committed. I'm in this far.
Yeah, you. I think you're in for this, and I think you're gonna love it.
Sure.
Anyway,
but
go on.
They need to subscribe, rate, and review the show. Again, if you give us a 5-star rating and a positive review, which means you write some nice words about the show. You can throw in a recommendation for something that you would like us to cover in a future episode. We're talking people, we're talking place, we're talking things, we're talking all the nouns that relate to upstate New York. So throw those recommendations our way, again, in a review, preferably on Apple Podcasts, but whatever you catch your podcasts is fine. Jim, having said that, I think we got to clue everyone in on what we're going to be talking about next week.
Oh, man. Listen, next week we got something real fun, and I hope you get the right hook to get into what we're going to get into next week.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like it. Well, I actually thought of a closing transition ahead of time today, but then I rewrote it as we've been talking, because I wanted to change it a little bit. But I think it's pretty good. It's like an all right up pun today.
Sure.
Ready to get out of here?
Let's go. Let's get it.
Well, Jim, I need to go rescue some animals that were just put up for auction. So let's get on out of here.
Perfect. Understanding Upstate is a podcast hosted by Jim Search and Rob Adler, edited by Rob Adler, and music from Regal Monk.